And Rishi Sunak is officially Britain's fifth Prime Minister in 6 years after meeting with King Charles III at Buckingham Palace. Mr. Sunak is the first person of color, the first British Asian and the first Hindu to lead the United Kingdom. He enters Downing Street at a moment of crisis for his party and the country after Liz Truss' shambolic 50-day tenure plunged Britain into even deeper economic turmoil. The following report takes a look at the difficulties ahead the new Prime Minister.
Rishi Sunak has officially taken over as Britain's Prime Minister, becoming the country's third leader in 7 weeks. Britain's 57th Prime Minister is richer than King Charles III and at 42, younger than every predecessor except William Pitt the Younger. Mr. Sunak met King Charles III to accept the role after outgoing leader Liz Truss met the monarch to offer her resignation. Rishi Sunak will lead a divided party and will immediately face demands to call a general election and seek his own mandate. There is a lot of attention already on the cabinet. The bulk of the attention will be on who is granted the great offices of state, which are Chancellor of the Exchequer, a key position overseeing the Treasury, government finances, tax policy and spending, Foreign Secretary who looks after foreign policy and the UK's relationships with other countries, and Home Secretary who oversees immigration and the police. Current Chancellor Jeremy Hunt has been tipped by some as safe in the role, having reassured the markets after tearing up most of Liz Truss's mini-budget. Other names mentioned for top positions include former cabinet member Dominic Raab, who has remained loyal to Mr. Sunak despite the new Prime Minister's defeat to Mrs. Truss in the previous leadership contest, as well as Penny Mordaunt, who lost out to Mr. Sunak this time round. There has also been speculation around the future role of the government veteran Michael Gove, as well as former party chair Oliver Dowden. The ultra-rich ex-banker is the first person of colour to lead the UK. He takes over after Ms. Truss's shambolic 50-day tenure, which shook Britain's economy.
And the world has shown reactions following the ascension of Rishi Sunak as the 57th Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. And many offered their congratulations and expressed hope for stability after a turbulent few weeks. In the United States, President Biden, who was at a White House event to mark the Hindu holiday of Diwali, described Mr. Sunak's nomination as the UK's next Prime Minister, a groundbreaking milestone. President Biden, First Lady Jill Biden, along with Vice President Kamala Harris, hosted a reception to celebrate Diwali at the White House Monday evening. The celebration is also known as the Festival of Lights, and Biden spoke at the reception saying, "Diwali is a reminder that each of us has the power to dispel darkness and bring light to the world."
Diwali is a reminder that each of us has the power to dispel darkness and bring light to the world. It's a choice, and we make that choice every day. It's true in our lives and in the life of this nation, especially in the life of a democracy, whether here in America or for the families back in India, marking 75 years of independence. And whether it's the United Kingdom or just today, we've gotten news that Rishi Sunak is now the Prime Minister. As my brother would say, go figure. And the Conservative Party expected to become the Prime Minister, I think, tomorrow when he goes to see the King. Pretty astounding. A groundbreaking milestone, and it matters. It matters.
Meanwhile, Liz Truss ended her final speech as Prime Minister with a call for continued support for Ukraine. Ms. Truss said she's looking forward to spending more time in her constituency. Liz Truss defended her disastrous economic agenda, making one last pitch for a low-tax, small-state vision despite the chaos her fiscal plan caused. And she concluded, quote, "Our country continues to battle through a storm, but I believe in Britain, I believe in the British people, and I know that brighter days lie ahead." Right, joining me now on the word now to discuss the state of UK politics is a former mayoral candidate, Names Obunge. Good to have you join us.
Great to be with you.
So the speed at which Rishi Sunak, who is now Prime Minister, was able to put together his nominations was quite unprecedented. He did that way before deadline. And he has said that he was chosen to fix Liz Truss's mistakes. But do you think that he was chosen because of because he predicted the financial crisis, how many budget would cause, the "I told you so" concept, and how much pressure do you think that he's under to deliver?
Well, I think that what is evident is that Rishi Sunak, as Chancellor under Boris Johnson, introduced the furlough scheme that really helped a lot of individuals and businesses and charities and a lot of organizations. So he has a track record of delivering. When he was running for Prime Minister, having resigned from Boris Johnson's cabinet as a result of the challenges of the past, obviously that created some tensions in the Conservative Party. And when he ran against Liz Truss and it went to the party, it was evident that the party made a decision that they preferred Liz Truss, but the parliamentarians gave more votes to Rishi Sunak. So Rishi Sunak was leading he was leading in relation to the parliamentary nominations for him to be Prime Minister, but the Conservative Party as a whole voted more in favor of Liz Truss. Now, it is clear that Liz Truss was unable to give confidence to the markets. And so as a result of that, the pound fell drastically, mortgage rates went up, and there was a significant situation where she had to sack or remove her chancellor, Kwame Kwarteng, and bring in Jeremy Hunt. Now, we need to understand that Jeremy Hunt, who is the present chancellor, was not part of her conservative team that supported her ascendancy to becoming the prime minister. And so what Jeremy eventually had to do to try to give confidence to the market was adjust significant positions that had put Liz Truss, the manifesto Liz Truss had put together for growth of the economy. But in one sense, the strategy that she put together was what put, unfortunately, the United Kingdom in the financial turmoil. And I think you would note that what Rishi Sunak was able to say when he stood outside Downing Street was, whilst it was important that she went for the growth of the economy, unfortunately, she made mistakes in doing this. And it's those mistakes he wants to correct while still pursuing the intention of growth in the economy. And so I think what we have now is we have a prime minister, and dare I say, credit to him, as the first youngest prime minister in the 21st century, 42 years old, the first person of ethnic diversity, a Hindu, albeit he's raised here, born and raised here, but being a man.
You have said, sorry to interrupt, but you have spoken so much about his track record. But when he spoke, he said, and I just want to quote him, that his government will have integrity, accountability, and professionalism, as though he was saying, look, we're going to do things differently from the previous governments, that of Boris Johnson and Liz Truss. But would he be able to reestablish credibility for the Conservative Party and for the UK as well?
I believe that he has a responsibility to do that. As you know, I'm apolitical. I'm neither Conservative, Labour, Lib Dem. But my position on this is, and as a Christian man of faith, I would pray for a leader. But he, in a political perspective, he cannot, at this point in time, call for a general election because, like you said, he has to build the confidence and build the trust. And he said in his speech today that trust is earned. And he has to earn the trust of the British public. Why we've made reference to his track record is because there was a level of trust as a result of what he delivered. Now, the reasons he speaks about integrity as being pivotal and trust being pivotal is because people have lost. I mean, the Conservative Party is 30 points behind the Labour Party in the opinion polls, public opinion polls. So what he has to do is he has a responsibility to get the right people in his cabinet and deliver the manifesto that the Conservatives were voted in, that gave them an 82 MP, over 80, I think it was about 82 MPs, a majority of 82 in Parliament. He has to find a way of regaining that trust so we don't find the nation in a divided position as it stands. Right now, the Conservative Party is divided, the nation is divided, and we need a sense of unity. In this year alone, we've had 3 prime ministers. That's unprecedented. He has a responsibility to secure the economy, secure energy prices, and give this nation a better foot up in the public arena and in the international community.
And I'm sure just beyond his achievements, the world is watching just to see how long he will last in office. Thank you so much for talking to us. As always, former mayoral candidate Names Obunge.
Thank you very much.